What's going on, everyone? Now that Season 1 has been out for about a week, I wanted to dive in and do kind of an early tier list of the characters and kind of see where they're at, how they're doing, and kind of see how it's going to change throughout the season. There's going to be some hot takes on here, but the idea is to see what we can do, have some fun with it, and without further ado, let's start with the Vanguards, starting with Cap. Now, Cap didn't feel the best in Season 0. I'll be real with you, kind of maybe like in this range. Though I think they just made one change, which is making so he can spam his shield up and down whenever he wanted to, would clearly make him a way better pick. And when he was play tested for Gamescom, he was able to do this. And goodness gracious, he felt good. I'm talking like up here, this range, right? But Season 0, he definitely felt a little bit C tier. I'll probably put him B. B feels good. He's not like crazy. He definitely moved up a bit in my opinion. With the right comp, I think he moves well. There's a secret comp out there that I plan on making a video about and will probably change some sort of metas, but who knows. As of right now, Cap, B tier. Doctor Strange, oh my gosh. The classic shielding hero. Obviously, S or A. Don't even really have to think about it. In the tournaments, he was one of the highest played characters and the high level, solid character all around. His damage output is solid. He can protect the team from certain ults, and overall, his survivability is not bad at all. Moving on to Groot. I think Groot's right around where Doctor Strange is. Also, one of the characters that kind of got played not as heavy as some of the others, but these two specifically, Doctor Strange and Groot, kind of play well into Hela, which, spoiler, if you don't know, Hela is still really strong. But we'll get there when we get to the Duelist. I think his ultimate is like one of the best in the game. The fact that you can tether people and you're doing consistent damage to them, you can get a group of people and basically team wipe a team or change a team fight specifically with his ult is insane. Also, his damage blocking potential is huge. Quick tip of advice, if you're playing Groot, don't use his big wall to block off areas. Put the wall somewhere where people aren't going to shoot it because it helps you survive. Groot 101 right there for you. Groot 101. Now, moving on to Hulk. I am so conflicted with this one. If you know anything about me, I wish I could put an F tier and put him in it. I'm telling you, Alpha, Beta, no offense, Hulk, not good. Hulk does a lot of what Captain America does. A lot of nothing. I don't want to hear anybody saying, well, he's one of the highest picked characters in the thing. That's not because of Hulk. Those games aren't won because of Hulk coming out and doing the craziest things. No, that is because of his team up with the other characters that allows Doctor Strange to be a menace and a certain other person to be a menace, okay? Hulk is not that guy. I'm so sorry to say that to you guys, but he really isn't. I will say, ever since Season 0, my opinion of him has slightly been changing, okay? And the thing is, it's not the fact that he does a lot. He's one of the biggest and best distractions in the game. And that works very well with his team up in Iron Man. Just saying that, I understand why he's up here. I couldn't ever put him S tier. I could never. But definitely in front of a Doctor Strange, absolutely. I don't want to hear the people who are like, oh my gosh, well, in the tournaments, there's teams, some of the top teams were specifically keeping Hulk. No, they were keeping Hulk as like a ban strategy to ban Iron Man. Just so you know, okay? It was a strategy so they can ban him. Other than that, my opinion has changed specifically, one, because of his wall clampering, which makes his movement feel a lot better, and two, being able to bubble people and shield them from ults makes him one of the better Vanguards in the game. That's the biggest difference between him and Captain America, is the fact that Cap really doesn't do that for his team. He's kind of a selfish player outside of his ultimate. Okay, moving on, now that I got that out the way, Magneto. Personally, I think either Magneto's the top part of A for the Vanguards or the low part, where like he's kind of a more selfish Doctor Strange. He shields for himself. His ult's not bad. It can counter a couple ults. It can secure a KO on some of the strategists. So like honestly, I can see it. I'll go here. Bottom A. Penny Parker. I told you there was going to be some hot takes, and I still stand by this. I think Penny Parker is the best Vanguard of the game. I have played so many games, and I have such a high win rate with Penny Parker The way that she can deny people from areas, plays great into Hulk, plays great into Doctor Strange, bullies Groot. Magneto, it could be a little here or there. Works Captain America. I'll be real with you, the one character that is slightly scary for Penny Parker is Thor. And that's because he can just kind of tank everything and destroy her nest. People, for whatever reason, still don't realize the buff to her being able to get 800 health from her standing on her webs is freaking huge. It makes her survivability great. The only problem, and there's one problem with Penny Parker that I have, and it's the fact that the headshot king and queen in the game, aka Hawkeye and Hela, just kind of put the works on her sometimes. She has nothing to protect herself from that. So she takes one headshot from Hawkeye and she's like at a third of her health. She can get tanked down really quickly by a good Hawkeye and Hela player. But I'm a Penny Parker fan through and through. I'm keeping her up here. You can at me all you want. Now, moving on to Thor. Crazy enough, a lot of people have Thor down here, like as one of the worst Vanguards. It sucks because during the Gamescom where they kind of were showing off Cap, and then, during the beta with Thor, the Thor and Cap combo felt so strong. It felt like literally unbeatable. But they made one change for both characters, and it was the fact that Cap can no longer spam his shield up and down. He has a 2 to 3 second delay before he can put his shield back up, which, why is that a thing when Doctor Strange can spam his that? It's a shield. He's literally can move his arm up and down. That doesn't even make any sense compared to magic, whatever. And then Thor, the biggest change they made to him from the beta to season 0 and season 1 now at this point is the fact that he has a 2-second cooldown before he can use his abilities. So it almost makes throwing his hammer not worth it. You might as well always dash and try to displace somebody so that you're on them, and then you can use your E ability to get that hammer back and then turn into your electric form. There is no point in throwing his hammer unless that niche situation where you're chasing someone who's in the air and it's just quicker to throw the hammer. There's no point in throwing it anymore. Because the combo you would do is you would charge up the hammer, you would dash into somebody, throw the hammer really quickly, keep swinging at them with the basic attacks, and then you would use your E to get back your hammers and then change into your God of Thunder form. That is what you would do. You can't do that now, which just kind of sucks. At the end of the day, I think he's better than Cap. Honestly, I could see him and Magneto, I can see being swapped places. But again, he has the same issue as Penny Parker. He just has nothing to shield himself against Hela and Hawkeye. Just one headshot, couple headshots, and you're just tanked down so quickly. Moving on, Venom, the last of our Vanguards. I'd probably put him top A. The really cool thing right now is in season 1, it doesn't feel like any of the characters are just so bad that I would recommend to not even play them, minus maybe 1 or 2 characters. And I think that's a really good spot for the game because there's a couple characters that are really busted, and there's a couple characters that are yeah, okay. But everyone else you can definitely make work. But in terms of a competitive aspect, I'd probably put him here. Venom does everything Hulk does. If I wanted someone to jump in, take space, and get some KOs, I would take Venom over Hulk any day of the week. If I wanted someone to support the team a bit more, jump in, kind of make some space, be a distraction, I would pick Hulk. If you think of it, Hulk is more Vanguard Strategist vibes, whereas Venom is more Vanguard Duelist vibes. He plays more for himself, whereas Hulk can kind of play for the team a bit more. And that's why I think there's a big discrepancy between the two. That's why I think they're on the opposite ends of each other. There we go. Let me know, where would you put the Vanguards? And technically, I mean, you could argue for this. I could also see this as something that could be different. That's probably what most people are probably putting up. It's probably these two at the top. Maybe even that. But realistically, I think Penny is just really good. I think she's slept on so much and it's not even funny. I think people just still really don't get how to play her and survive with her. What do you guys think about the Vanguards? Let me know in the comments. Did I get it wrong? Did I get it right? Let me know. Let's talk about it. And give me a reason. I want to hear your reasoning on what you would put the Vanguards at. Now let's go into the Duelist. Starting with Black Panther. I'd probably put Black Panther A or B. He has pretty solid survivability. They did nerf part of his survivability with taking away some of his shield this season, but he's so hard to track. You have a solid Black Panther in your team, and he's just dashing, disappearing, coming back, dashing, disappearing. I would have put him lower, but ever since people found a combo that can take Strategist and Duelist out, where he kind of throws 2 of his spears and then does 2 dashes and it takes someone out really quickly, that moves him up, in my opinion, a bit. I would probably put him a little lower on A, maybe top of B for me. We'll keep him here for now. Moving on to Black Widow. Oh, gosh. It hurts. Everyone considers her as the worst character in the game because the time in between her shots is too long. By the time she gets her second shot off on somebody, usually that person's healed back up to full. And then she's just in this long cycle of not being able to hit anybody. Now, she can finish people that are already hit, but it's just like that's the biggest problem with her and why she struggles. If you pair her with a couple of the damage boosters, like Mantis, then I'll be real with you, I think she's viable. To me, it's no different than playing her like with the team up. It's no different than Iron Man. Iron Man isn't crazy by himself, but you put that Hulk interaction with him and he comes a menace, dude. Black Widow is the same. Black Widow gets that same type of treatment where if you have someone boosting her up where she can actually get that one shot on all the 250 health characters, that makes her a threat. I'm sorry, that does. And you just need somebody to tap heads, bro. I believe this is more of a skill issue than really people just being bad. I'm going to say it. Whereas I think the Iron Man Hulk team up and like the way you can get wins with Iron Man is a lot easier than if you have a Black Widow with Mantis boosting her up. That's just that. So realistically though, I'll put him bottom. We'll put her C. I really don't think anyone's like so bad that you can't use them. I'll be real with you. I think you just have to play certain play styles and with certain teams, and you can get wins with it. The tier list looks like if you're playing characters in the top, it's going to be easier to get wins with them compared to the characters on the bottom. That's how the tier list is kind of being made. Moving on to Hawkeye. If Hawkeye isn't here, he's here. In all honesty, he is either A or S tier. The season 1 nerf that he got, reducing his focus charge from 60 meters to 40 meters, was a significant nerf. It kind of turns him into someone similar like Black Widow, where he can 2-shot headshot somebody from farther away if they're not on the focus, but he has to play a bit closer, which is not that bad. But I mean, he's still 3-shotting Hulk. He's still taking out Groot really quickly, taking out Thors, 1-shot in Black Widows, Black Panthers. Homie's still great. If you're hitting the heads, dude, and you're feeling it, trust me, you're not doing anything wrong. There's not much you have to really say about it. Then his ultimate strong. Honestly, his whole kit's not that bad. But moving on to Hela, which it's not even. The 25 health reduction on her helped, but she's already a glass cannon. It's the fact that she can shoot 3 times before Hawkeye can shoot once. It just feels like she shoots so fast. She has like the complete opposite problem to Black Widow. Black Widow shoots so slow in between her shots. Hela's like a freaking, she might as well have a machine gun on her arms, bro. So you'd be 2-tapping everybody so quick. And her radius, oh my gosh, she could still 3-tap every character no matter what distance she is. All the 250 to 300 health characters. It's insane. Hela's still great. Yes, she's a little bit nerfed, but I rewrote you. I don't think it's going to be that crazy. I do think the interaction between Hela and Black Widow is a little different now. Black Widow actually has a chance if she's powered up from Mantis to actually peak Hela's now, but it's niche. No one's playing Black Widow, let's be real. Except for like the 5 of you, which, hey, bless your guys' heart. No surprise, Hela is still, in my opinion, the best character in the game. She maybe dropped off a couple notches. She might have been like 100%. Now she's like 98, 99. Moving on to Iron Fist. Out of all the characters, this is just an announcement. I probably have the least amount of time playing with him. I've spent a lot of times in the practice range kind of messing around with the character. So he's kind of like my wild card. I really have very little idea of where he would go. I'm never really scared of an Iron Fist. I feel like, you know, he's kind of in the situation of Captain America, Hulk, where he kind of just does a lot of nothing. He doesn't have huge burst potential. There are a few combos you can do that can kind of get you there with like his ultimate and stuff. But realistically, like outside of that, I don't see the struggle with him. I think there's characters that kind of just walk right over him. I think Hela doesn't play bad into Iron Fist. Like most of the top characters don't really struggle against Iron Fist. So honestly, I would say he's worse than Black Widow. But again, this is just based off the experience. I haven't played with him that much, and I haven't seen a lot of Iron Fist that were really like, whoa, like to change my opinion about it. Iron Man up here. I'd honestly even say with the team up, I would say Iron Man is the most busted character in the game. at me at that too. Iron Man is disgusting, and it's not even funny how easy it makes the game. If you're trying to get up in the ranks on the lower ranks from bronze anywhere up to plat, Iron Man will dominate those games because it's not hard. Yeah, literally, you get a Hulk on your team, you play Iron Man, you sneak up behind their team, you do his power up ability, and then you literally just beam the back line and you rinse and repeat. And it's not hard. It really isn't. I've gone on 10 game winning streaks. I've had friends who've done the same exact thing. Like, it is not a difficult thing to do. And I think it's easier than playing Hela because the only thing you have to do is track people with your beam. That's it. But if it's Iron Man by himself without the team up, I'm letting you guys know right now, Iron Man's like here. Iron Man isn't really a big threat. He's like top of B, low A. He's not that great. Literally, it's the team up with Hulk that turns him into a menace. So we'll leave him there. But again, if we weren't looking at team ups, I think Hela's the better player without team ups, but with the team up, I think Iron Man's the better player. So it just really depends on the circumstance, which character's the best. And I mean, it makes sense. These are probably the most banned characters throughout that tournament in Season 0. And in a lot of ranks, they're just banned a lot. All right, let's move to Magic. Magic, whew, she's fun. I think Magic is a perfect example blurring the lines between like Duelist and a Vanguard, or like Duelist and a Strategist. Basically, another role in between. She's like a dual role, in my opinion. She can basically play in the front lines as long as you understand how to survive with her. That's a very key part of it. I understand I'm not talking about the freaking Magic that go in and insta-die in a second because they're swinging at people, missing hits, and don't know how to survive with her. No, I'm talking about the ones who have some time on her. I think she's better as a Vanguard at times than some of the other Vanguards. Call me crazy. She has a better survivability than some of them. I think she can be played at the top level pretty well and have a lot of success. Magic's not bad at all. Up next, we have Moon Knight. Moon Knight, definitely, there's going to be a lot of people in here, bro. I would put him probably behind Hawkeye, but definitely near the top of A. He's very viable. You got a team that's grouped up a lot, and you have a Moon Knight that can take advantage of that, they're going to end the game with 50,000 damage, 40 KOs, and like 3 assists. Because Moon Knights are just that frightening at times. Plus, his combo with Groot is fantastic. It's like one of the best in the game. Moon Knight, pretty simple. Below Hawkeye, in my opinion, at the moment, but definitely viable in really any rank you're kind of playing at. Moving on, we have Namor. I feel like Namor and Moon Knight could be swapped between each other. Namor solid, similar to Hela. Like, if Hela wasn't in the game, Namor would be in the conversation for one of the top characters. Namor with his squids, great. He helps with people playing dive comps. Then he basically has a 2-tap from anywhere on the map, so it's basically the same as Hela, but he does throw his tridents a little slower than her, which kind of puts him down. And honestly, I would maybe even put him over Hawkeye, but I can intertwine these two and even Moon Knight. All 3 of these could be kind of put anywhere. But yeah, we'll probably leave them. I'll put them higher than Moon Knight. They kind of around him and Hawkeye. I think these 3 can really be moved anywhere. They're like around the same level. Psylocke. Psylocke is the definition of assassin. She can pop out of nowhere in a half a second and then take out one of your strategists and then get out of there so fast. It's almost faster than Hela 2-shotting somebody or Hawkeye even 1-shotting somebody. Like, it is that crazy. I think it takes some time to get used to her and her playstyle, and her skill ceiling is a bit higher than some of the characters. And then on top of the team up with Magic this season, where you can kind of do that, retrace your time, that also helps you get out of situations. Yeah, dude. Psylocke solid A character. Next, we got Punisher. Punisher's probably down in the B tier. He has fallen since his glory days in the beta, just tearing everybody up with that shotgun. And I want to point this out because my gosh, so many people talk about it. Punisher's turret was not good in the beta. I don't know who on the dev team was like, let's make it super splash damage, doing 1 billion damage so that you only have to shoot into a choke and you can potentially get 3 KOs, 4 KOs out of nowhere. For whatever reason, they buffed that and then destroyed his shotgun, even though I'll be real true, his shotgun, in my opinion, is still one of the best parts of his kit. That's just me. I'm a shotgun believer, okay? He's probably the first one in B tier for me. And honestly, making it around, I think Scarlet Witch is there as well. Now, here's another one people say is really bad. Spidey, oof. I would love to put him up here as a Spider-Man fan, but I know better than that. And he's down here. Even though Spider-Man has some crazy tech, He has the same issue as a lot of characters on the lower end of this list, especially the Duelist, is that his time to take somebody out just takes too long compared to some of the higher up characters. As much as I think he's a slippery character, he has some fantastic movement, the best movement in the game, that super burst potential from 100 to 0 on some of the Duelists and Strategists, it's just not good. I'll be real with you, he has a very annoying ability with his uppercut. Like, why is it hitting in a 500-foot radius around his whole body? Why is it a sphere? No one knows. Don't understand it. I get he's doing a twirl, but he's hitting people from behind him, not even seeing them. It's a very just annoying ability in general. I understand that. But other than that, like, it's just unfortunate. Yeah, the time for him to take somebody down is just too long. I think that's the same issue as Black Widow, Iron Fist, Scarlet Witch. Not really Punisher. Honestly, Punisher could be a little higher, now that I'm thinking about it. What offsets that argument for Magic is like Magic doesn't have like the crazy. She does have a couple combos that can do it, but she also has the survivability to keep her alive when she isn't taking someone out. It keeps her in the fight to prepare for that combo to take somebody out if she needs to. That's why Magic is higher up than Spider-Man. Spider-Man really doesn't have that option unless you're kind of playing with Venom, but then that Venom team up, it comes every 30 seconds, like on a 30-40 second cooldown. So like, I don't know, not the best. Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl is a little bit of a sleeper pick in my opinion. I think Squirrel Girl is up here. And it's because she's almost similar to Wolverine as like she can just shred some of the tanks. But her just like stopping, I'd even put her like maybe here, maybe even top of B. Because you could just stun lock somebody for like so long. Especially if the Spider-Man team up with her. It's insane. Now they can still do abilities and stuff, but they're just tethering. You just shoot them a couple times, they're gone. I think she's a low-key sleeper pick. I think I'd even put her at like bottom A. I'll leave her top of B for now. Star-Lord. Yep. Yep, Star-Lord's up here. Star-Lord, I would probably put in a similar situation as Psylocke. Kind of similar where he has that potential to take someone out really, really fast and then get away. And then let's be real, his ultimate is insane. Star-Lord is a pretty simple one for me. I think he's around Psylocke. I don't think he's necessarily better than Moon Knight, but definitely there. Storm. Whoo, Storm has had some changes. Again, one of the other characters that a lot of people had at the bottom of the list. Bottom of the barrel, she's horrible. And I'll be real with you, from the beta, she felt different. Again, like some of the other characters, she didn't feel all that great. It was weird because it seemed like the devs wanted her to play kind of in like mid to back line to kind of support her team with like the speed boost and the damage boost. But her shooting and her own damage potential just seemed like she wanted to play closer to the front line because her projectile speed was abysmal, was horrible. She would shoot one shot. Someone would have enough time to get married, raise a whole family, have grandkids. The grandkids come, they grow up and then die before the bullet actually reached them. It was just terrible. So like now she got some arguments, bro. Storm got some arguments for being this A tier. She kind of goes crazy, especially with her team up with Thor. That chain lightning also just adds a little bit more. Dude, come on. Her ultimate's feeling good. I'll be real with you. I think even Storm might be here. In fact, honestly, I'm okay with putting Storm here. Around like at least the Star-Lord Psylocke level. Bare minimum. Yeah, easy. Honestly, I would even say Storm, she could potentially be S tier. But I think that's a little too, actually, you know, there's a prediction. Nah, we'll keep her here. I think the only thing she still needs, they just need her to move a little bit faster. Whenever she does her speed boost, it just doesn't feel like she's moving that much faster. She goes from like turtle pace, from turtle speed walking pace. Like, it's just slow. It still feels slow. But honestly, overall, solid character. Really good for helping. And I'll be real with you, Storm with the Black Widow. Whew, that's a crazy little combo right there, man. You got that one-shot potential for Black Widow, and then Storm's there, just sending in bullets. Dude, those projectile speed, great buffer. Honestly, Storm A tier. We're getting to our last few duelists here. We got Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier's in that conversation. He's right here. Winter Soldier is like the bottom of that, like the top tier of A, where he's like that separation, where he could be in the top of A or like the top of the midpoint of A tier. He's like top 6 conversation for best duelist. I can also see an argument for him being in this group, though. But I'll put him here. A lot of people don't know, but in the Gamescom server, he only had 2 shots, and they increased it to 3 in Season 0, and that just helped out his kit a lot. He feels so fluid to play. Really fun character to play, honestly, and solid. And let's be real, again, you just hear it over and over and again, okay? Winter Soldier solid. Wolverine, haha, dude. Bro, people had Wolverine here, bro. By the end of Season 0, going into Season 1, Wolverine had kind of submitted himself here. He is the tank buster. You put him up against Groot, he tears Groot up. I'll kind of reorganize these and like what I think where all the Vanguards go and stuff as well. Tears up anyone. He just kind of gets in there, keeps them back to his team, and they just shred anybody, especially the Vanguards, dude. A lot of people had him back down here. I believe Wolverine's here. He's the bottom of A, and that bottom of A with Magic Black Panther. All right, the newest comer to season 1. Call me freaking crazy, Mr. Fantastic. I'll be real with you. I think Mr. Fantastic is going to be S tier. I'm calling this early. I think Mr. Fantastic is a slightly better version of Magic. This fool is a Vanguard / Duelist, and you can't tell me anything else besides that. Plus, he has a slight little ability to do some strategist stuff where he can technically give his team 75 shield, technically 150 really quickly. So he has slight strategist. Dude, this guy is basically all 3 roles in one freaking character, and I'm sorry, bro, that deserves to be up here in S tier. His survivability is insane. It's better than most of the Vanguards. And his damage output is better than most of them too. They need more characters like Mr. Fantastic. Give us more hybrid characters, and I think the game will feel so good, especially because there is no role queue, and I think people will get out of their mind like someone has to play a specific role. I think that would be better for the game, easily. That's my bold statement. I think people still need to like figure him out. It's only been a week, but once people figure out a little bit more, dude, he's going to be cycling. He's basically going to have 900 health, 500 health, 900 health, 500 health, 900 health, 500 health. Oh, now you're gone. I'm putting Mr. Fantastic as one of my hot takes, S tier. He's kind of like a penny for me. I think he's just going to be up there. All right, that's kind of all the Duelists. To start us off from the Strategist, we have Adam Warlock, and honestly, Adam Warlock is A tier. His mass res alone puts him A tier. I will never put someone who can resurrect people from death lower than A tier. Because no matter what, he can fit into any comp at some point. All I have to say for that. All I have to say. Cloak and Dagger, probably put him below Adam Warlock. Even though I think Cloak and Dagger arguably, actually, now with Cloak and Dagger's buff in season 1, with her getting another dash, why did they do that? Why did they give her another dash in her ultimate? It doesn't make any sense. She didn't need it. I'll be traveling the map, bro. I'll go from my spawn to the enemy spawn, bro, in just 2 dashes and still have 2 dashes to work with. It is insane. Honestly, her healing output is insane. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 of the characters that do better than them. So, I mean, hey, definitely A tier, though. I could even see maybe a B tier. Nah, she's A tier. A tier. Let's move on to Jeff. Jeff, a lot of people think Jeff sucks. I just don't think you know how to play with Jeff. I'm going to keep it a bug, bro. Jeff is, like, here. I think a lot of people struggle to play Jeff, and he has one of the best survivabilities in the game. It is so difficult to take this fool out, especially Solid Jeff. It's so hard. He has some of the best group healing in the game. I think he actually is really only second maybe to Cloak and Dagger. But in terms of like group healing with just like shooting off basic attacks and stuff, or his basic healing, is one of the best in the game. I'm pretty sure it's like 120 per second or something like that. It's insane. So like your team gets hit with a Groot ult, you throw a bubble on them, a couple bubbles, and just spray them, they don't get taken out. It's super crazy. Plus, let's be real, his ultimate is not bad at all. If people start using it in a way with like, besides just going off the edge and throwing them off or taking them out or something like that, and using them to reposition and like specifically aim for certain characters to displace them, his displacement is crazy. And he can ult farm really easily. I don't think Jeff's as bad as people think. We'll keep him a B though. Moving on to Loki. I put Loki here. I put him beneath Cloak and Dagger and Adam Warlock. Actually, scratch that. No, I think Loki's better than everyone so far on the list. Because of one thing. Loki's solid, but it's the fact that he can copy an ultimate. So you can basically have 2 of any ult. So, Adam Warlock, 2 Adam Warlock reses, 2 Cloak and Dagger ults, 2 Jeff ults. He literally can double up. He struggles a bit with playing with like an Iron Man or like Storm because they're little flying characters and the shots are a little slower. The projectiles for his shooting to heal is a bit slow and can be hard for some people to like hit those aerial hits, or like even for some of the faster moving characters like Black Panther and Spider-Man to help with them. But I mean, if you're playing with like a Namor or a Hawkeye or Hela, Winter Soldier, someone that's not moving as much, dude, Loki's fantastic. Plus he has this field that doesn't let you get taken out and it heals you. Come on, man. Loki's solid. Now, the GOAT, one of my personal favorites, Luna Snow. Hands down, she was the best strategist in Season 0, and I think in Season 1, I don't think it's going to change much. Or will it? No, I think Luna Snow is still here. I know she can't spam her ultimate as much anymore, it was a needed nerf. But I'll be real with you, just the fact that you can heal your team still for 9 seconds. I've already made a couple videos about it, how you can take her out during the ult, which a lot of people really just didn't know. Taking her out during it can help, but she has some great healing potential. Plus, she has some solid damage output she can do too. Honestly, overall, Luna Snow, fantastic character. And she has speed changes when she uses her passive and starts like skating around, which I think is also really helpful for just getting around and like throwing off enemy team with their shots and stuff. Honestly, Luna Snow, arguably the best strategist in the game. Now you're like, oh, what do you mean? Isn't Mantis better? Nah, I mean, yeah, you could say so. She's probably the most strategist out of all of the strategists, if that makes sense. When I think of like what a strategist is, like I think of Mantis as the character I think of. She supports her team in different ways than just like healing them. She can also help do damage. So, I mean, she's definitely here. Her team up with Adam Warlock's not bad at all. I know there's a few teams in the tournament that were kind of playing for that. But I'll be real with you, like a Mantis and Luna Snow ultimate is not bad and is so frustrating to play against. But I mean, what's worse? A Mantis and Luna ult combo or a double Luna Snow ultimate? I don't know, you decide. But I'd definitely put her high. She's probably second or third best strategist in the game for sure. Rocket, I'd probably put him at the bottom of A or top of B. I think he's going to be a bit better, especially if you pair him up with Punisher and Winter Soldier. That team up is disgusting. And I feel like people have forgotten about it because the Hulk and Iron Man one is so good and, you know, yada, 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 all this, and Mantis and Adam Warlock. But I think Rocket is going to be a bit better than people think. Also, again, I told you, I can't put anybody who has a res lower than A. Just based off that fact, he's bottom A. Last but not least, the other addition to Season 1, Part 1, Invisible Woman. Yep, she's up here. Just messing around with her when she was first kind of revealed, she can just do so much damage and healing at the same time that I think it will help out teams. Her healing, it's like almost scary. It's kind of similar to Luna Snow. It's almost there, but I don't think it's quite there. And then actually her team up helps Mr. Fantastic a lot by keeping his survivability up even more, making him even more tanky, okay? Invisible Woman does great damage, great healing, and then her passive is insane. The fact that her survivability is so good as well, too, she might have the best survivability out of all the strategists, even better than maybe Jeff's. Just because, like, it is so hard to track her at times when she just does that double jump and instantly goes invisible, especially for, like, lower level players and things like that. I think she's going to be good. I think she's also going to be good at higher levels, too. We'll see, though. I'm interested to see what people do with the tournament. So, yeah, this is how the tier list looks. That's kind of where I kind of placed everyone. Let's kind of, like, really quickly move everyone based off of where they're at now, though. Like, who's at the top of where. All right, guys, I kind of moved some of the characters around and kind of fit them with all the roles kind of in mind. And this is where I feel everyone kind of fits in. Mind you, realistically, I can't put Penny Parker low in the nest because that's where I believe she is. I would prove it to people. But if I were to swap anything, it would be this. Probably like that. That's what I'd probably realistically put. Honestly, you should be crushing any team with this 6. I try to make the S tier the 6 that I think are probably the best for like a comp, and that's probably what I would run. So what do you guys think, though? Let me know in the comments below. Was this the worst list you ever seen in your life? Was it the best? Tell me who you think is the best team comp or the top 6 characters in the game. I'm interested to know. Other than that, man, hey, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And remember to keep leveling up.